Hi, I'm Copthorne MacDonald, founder and editor of the Wisdom Page website. One of the more popular documents on the site is an essay I wrote titled Flaws in Human Mentality. This video explores that issue. The good news is that evolution designed for us human beings an incredibly capable brain-mind system. The bad news is that evolution's design is in some respects obsolete. It was well suited to helping our hunter-gatherer ancestors survive and reproduce in the harsh conditions they faced, but it's not ideally suited for dealing with life today. Let's begin with a look at decision-making. Human decisions are made by a partly conscious but largely unconscious process. Information entering the brain from the senses and information stored in memory interact with a person's deeply held beliefs and values. Computer data processing is a useful analogy. The evolution-designed human brain is the hardware. A person's internalized values and beliefs are a key part of the program. A person's senses and memories provide the information that is processed. The result of that processing is behavior, a decision to do this, that, or perhaps nothing. The details are extremely complex and not completely understood, but the diagram conveys the basic idea. From this we can see that there are several places where things can go wrong. Brain structure and functioning, the values, the beliefs, one's memories, and the incoming sensory information. Let's begin with the brain and some of the problems that are rooted in brain design. The human brain actually consists of three brains nested within each other, each having been developed during a different evolutionary period. The innermost brain, sometimes called the brain stem or the reptilian brain, is located at the top of the spinal column, and it is the primitive core of the human brain. Designed by evolution to guide the behavior of reptiles, it is the most ancient of the three. It consists of the medulla oblongata, the pons, and the reticular formation. In humans, it controls basic bodily functions such as heartbeat, breathing, swallowing, sneezing, and blood pressure. During sleep, the reticular formation monitors sensory data and arouses the rest of the brain when it detects something it deems dangerous, such as an unfamiliar noise or skin sensation. The limbic system, consisting of the thalamus, fornix, hippocampus, hypothalamus, and amygdala, is an add-on brain that evolved to help mammals survive and reproduce. Wrapped around the brainstem, it is the seat of the emotions that we humans and other mammals experience. These include strong reactive emotions such as fear, lust, anger, and jealousy, as well as subtler emotions such as maternal feelings and those that define moods. The limbic system also plays a major role in memory. Mammals also have a third brain, a neocortex located atop and around the limbic system. Relative to body size, cats have a small cortex. Chimpanzees have one of medium size, and humans have a very large one. The human cortex is the thinking brain, the seat of many higher-level functions such as speech, planning, decision-making, visualization, and the intellectual control of a person's emotional life. The three nested brains are interconnected in complex ways, and recent neurological and psychological research has revealed much about how the whole integrated system works. This evolution-designed brain-mind system creates for each person a mental model of reality that contains some serious distortions and outright lies. In the difficult circumstances of primitive living, some of these lies actually help people to survive. In present circumstances, however, they often cause serious problems. Reactive emotions and emotion-driven actions helped early humans to survive and reproduce in primitive circumstances. Today, however, strong emotions distort a person's sense of relative importance and often lead to inappropriate behavior. It works like this. The thalamus acts as a relay station for raw sensory input data. It sends this data both to the neocortex for detailed but relatively slow processing, and directly to the amygdala, where it is evaluated in a crude but more immediate way. The amygdala monitors all the sensory data passing through the thalamus for threats to the person. If its hardwired programming detects a danger of some sort, it puts the brain in crisis mode. Some of these crisis messages cause physical things to happen, such as the release of fight or flight hormones, the tightening of muscles, the release of brain chemicals that heighten alertness. At the same time, a feeling is presented to consciousness, say of fear, anger, hatred, greed, or jealousy, as determined by the amygdala's rough and ready analysis of the sensory data. Sometimes a powerful human emotion leads to immediate action. The person acts before the more comprehensive and sophisticated but slower cortical evaluation process has been completed. At times, this kind of immediate reactive behavior might save an endangered life. At other times, it results in great harm and profound regret. A mark of emotional intelligence, development, and maturity is the ability to delay acting until the cooled-out second opinion from the frontal lobes of the cortex has reached consciousness. Unfortunately, some people treat emotions as action imperatives, and they react on impulse in situation after situation. They have not learned that emotional feelings are simply messages from the limbic brain to the conscious mind, to be ignored or acted upon as other brain processes our intellect and intuition dictate. Fear, in particular, is highly controlling and difficult to deal with. It was a helpful motivator when Vishen detected an approaching tiger, and then in that situation, immediate action made perfect sense. But in today's very different world, the experience of fear often leads to inappropriate behavior, or it immobilizes people, preventing appropriate action. Unfortunately, human beings are not good at assessing risk. The deaths of 3,000 people in the terrorist attack of September 11, 2001, triggered an immobilizing wave of fear that swept across America. The fact that a dozen times that many deaths occur each year in automobile accidents does not. That said, humans are fear-prone beings, and fear is often used as a mechanism of control. The media carry stories that create fear, and the size of their audience increases. Political regimes exaggerate risk, demonize an enemy, and use other fear-provoking techniques to get people to agree with the regime's program of action. The emotional vulnerability of human beings, a combination of fear, confusion, and the hope of relief from fear, allowed the George W. Bush administration to implement an agenda that greatly increased executive power, reduced civil liberties, and killed many more civilians in Afghanistan and Iraq than were killed in the September 11 attacks. We have also been misled about personhood and identity. We have a primal sense of existing, a self sense, an I am feeling, and almost all of us associate that feeling with body and mind contents. This makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. The human brain evolved during an extended period when our ancestors relied on hunting and gathering for survival. When under threat in primitive circumstances, the illusion of being an independent person increased the likelihood of personal and species survival. So it made evolutionary sense to consider oneself an independent person. In reality, however, humans are not separate independent beings. We are nodes of universal process. We utilize the sun's energy, exchange gases via the atmosphere, take in nutritious chemicals, produce wastes, and are linked in numerous ways to other beings and systems. More fundamental still, persons are simply informational modulations of the primal carrier, being, spirit, energy awareness. Think of the ocean and its waves. Waves are ocean's informational modulations, having form and activity. Yet, from another perspective, waves are simply ocean. Like the ocean and its waves, humanity and all of existence is the primal one in countless forms. Unfortunately, human reliance on vision constantly reinforces the illusion of separateness. People seem to be isolated entities, but they are not. One side effect of our distorted sense of identity is the limited sphere of concern that we all start out with and that we transcend only with difficulty. Our built-in tendency is to be concerned primarily about our own immediate situation, ourselves, our family, our friends, those physically close to us and close in relationship. Yet the expansion of concern about the well-being of others is possible and is a characteristic of developing wisdom. The same is also true about the extension of concern in the realm of time. We tend to be concerned about the near term, about having things go well now and in the immediate future. Again, concern about well-being in the more distant future is possible, and it develops as one grows in wisdom.